Welcome and welcome on this Saturday where Venus goes retrograde, March 1st, 2025. I am so excited about what's happening in the stars for all of humanity this year, but especially as a spiritual teacher, as a galactic shaman, how many people call me, I want to address how this Venus retrograde supports our own awakening journey. And what does it have to do with our spirit when we're talking about Venus retrograde? What does it mean? Why does it matter? So, if these are things you want to know more about, stay tuned, stay here, put a like, be present, and thank you for being here once again. So, let's dive right in. First, the basics. Venus is going retrograde on March 1st of 2025. It's doing this at 10 degrees of Aries, and it will continue its backwards journey until April 12th, 2025, and then concluding at 24 degrees in Pisces. When a planet goes retrograde, it's super interesting because what it is in the elliptical dance of the planet, where it does that little loop reverting on the path, what it does is that revisits a path that it has already been through going forward. And that's what retrograde means, retrospect. It gives us a view once again of what we've been through. Venus, in particular, is the planet of love, self love, well being, body nourishment, body nurturing. It is the ruler of Taurus. And whenever we have a retrograde planet, it also invites us to go deep, go inside, and reevaluate the main themes that that planet supports us with in regards to our own journey, where we are in our journey. And for this Venus retrograde, it's especially opening up opportunities for us to reflect and realign with regards to love to ourselves, relationships, our personal values. And also because it's going to be in Aries and Pisces, it's about opening up ways to do things differently and to really up the ante with regards to our relationship with our bodies. This transit really highlights what our self-worth is about. It is inviting us to reevaluate our self-worth, but especially relating to our body image and to how comfortable or uncomfortable do we feel in our bodies. For me, this is a topic that touches me so close to my heart because of the journey I've been in my life, a journey of a lot of self-deprecating dialogues about my body, really harsh body image and judgmental inside. No matter what a life as a sportswoman I've had, and how my whole life since very young age I've been very aware about nutrition and what I eat and how I eat, and still I struggled with that relationship most of my life. In addition, as a spiritual teacher who was led into this path again at teenage years, at a very young age, I had a limiting belief, a belief that everything related to the spirit, from the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown, those energy centers that are above, anything related to those was good and it was okay. And the more I developed them, the best that would be. And that all other things related to the body that are related to the three lower energy centers in our bodies, the one about our I am in our solar plexus, our sacral one that's positioned in the womb or the hara, and the root that is found in the perineum, were things that related to the body, not as good, not happy to look at those. And instead, our souls cannot feel safe in our bodies unless we welcome our soul fully into our bodies, from the tip of our tippy toes to our hair, to the end of our hairs, fully, fully embodied. This retrograde motion of Venus invites us to go inside and look at what are old patterns of self sacrifice? What are old patterns in which we have been limiting ourselves of even go out there and enjoying life and enjoying relationships and friendships and going out and dressing beautifully and eating beautiful, colorful, tasty food because of our beliefs and because of shame that we may have been carrying or are still carrying. This is an opportunity, even if we've done a lot of work with these topics in our lives, to go deeper, to go and check, is there more? Is there another layer down there? Is there other things that I'm now, where I am today, who I am today, ready to fully let go? And it's about looking at, well, with all these old patterns, where was I people pleasing? Where was I giving away my truth, my power, my beauty, my expression because of these patterns and beliefs? And instead reclaiming who I am, my personal sovereignty. You may have heard me speaking about sovereignty before because it's a hot topic with regards to spirituality. We don't learn how to be sovereign in our spirituality, and we don't learn how to be sovereign in our bodies in this society. And this topic of sovereignty is the perfect segue to this other aspect that is very intimately related to Venus in general, as the topics that she supports us with, but especially when it goes retrograde, and it's about body image and our sensuality. Not our sexuality, but our sensuality, the sensuousness that we can have or are not allowing ourselves to have. Like I said earlier, Venus governs beauty, pleasure and sensualness is not only related to sex. It's about a window through which we look at life, and it's the doorway through which we engage with life. Are we rejoicing in the yumminess of hugging a friend, of being with our bodies under the sun, of eating a beautiful plate of colorful food and allowing ourselves to mm, really, really rejoice in the flavors of that food? I know personally, I wasn't allowing myself to do many of these things for many years because, again, of this disconnection I had with my body through shame, through a distorted idea of what my body was, this distorted idea that I had to be a certain shape and a certain way to love my body. And of course, that was that goal that kept moving ahead and never getting there. And this may be happening to you too. You may be also placing yourself in this impossible situation of saying, I will be happy with my body when I weigh this much, when I've toned my muscles, when dot dot dot, right? And so this retrograde motion is perfect to help us reconnect with the wisdom of our bodies and to embrace our authentic self expression, regardless of what our body looks like. However, you are today, wherever you are today, with and in your body, it is the perfect place for you to do this. And if you honestly wish you would feel differently in your body because you don't feel comfortable in your body, either because through self judgment you have a self flagellation of your body and you're not allowing your body to eat, and your expression is to be too skinny, unhealthily so, anorexic or bulimic or any of the dysfunctions with your body, or if you are towards the other end, or even if you're perfectly in your weight and health and shape and you still don't believe you are and don't feel comfortable within it, now is the time to embrace how, who, where you are. And if you want to change anything, if you want to gain more health, more wholesomeness, feel better in this temple that hosts our soul, again, now is the time to look at all of this and set goals that are healthy and that are viable, and to take one small step at a time. Which again, this leads to the other topic I wanted to address that has to do with this Venus retrograde, which is about breaking free from unconscious attachments of our sense of love and safety with regards to external relationships that may not be healthy, or relationships not only with people but also with things. This is truthfully so profound. Venus really helps us look at what are our desires with regards to our soul's truth and what embodiment means. I've done a video a few Saturdays ago about embodiment. And as you know, the art of being fully embodied is the ability to feel safe in your body, to have dealt with the shock, the trauma that we had growing up, so that this body, this vehicle, can truly host our soul fully, and our soul can feel safe within this beautiful vehicle that is our body. So many of us don't feel safe in our bodies. To look at where we are not being in integrity to the needs of our bodies. Our bodies love us. Our bodies send us signals about what it's needing for our safety, for our benefit. So when we get dis-ease, lack of ease, lack of ease, so a disharmony, that's our body telling us, hey, this is happening because you need a certain thing. To look at that and to understand, where am I not allowing my soul to feel safe in my body, and to be actually proactive in nourishing our bodies and our souls. For example, one of my favorites is to be in the water, either if you're in the summer in a natural water body like the sea, the river, the lake, and rejoice with the sunlight on my skin and the water lapping at my skin. And if it's winter, a jacuzzi, a bubble bath, those moments where I can have a moment where my body goes back into that element, the element where it was when I was in my mom's womb, that floating element, and allow for that self-love and allow for my soul to connect with the body and to feel the beauty of the water surrounding my skin, and to take those moments to fill my cup of connecting to myself, connecting to who I am, and to really go beyond the surface level pleasures and go deep and find that deep pleasure that stays with you and feels deeply replenishing and deeply nourishing. This period is almost a 2 month period from March 1st until April 25th. And you can move through the waves of this whole retrograde motion, knowing that this is happening, taking time to slow down, to go into your inner self, to go for that attunement, to look for that embodied awareness. What is embodied awareness? Is the awareness of, how embodied am I? Am I fully inside my body? Am I struggling to feel comfortable? Where in my body do I not feel comfortable? I know for many of us, there's areas of our bodies that feel particularly uncomfortable. To look at those areas and even to place our hands on those places in our bodies and send love, unconditional love. I love you just the way you are. And take a deep breath and exhale and send that love to your cells all over. Each cell is innately intelligence, a receptacle for the love that you send. And when you just tune into your whole body and send that love inside, each cell will brighten up, feeling what you are sending, that love, that unconditional love, and taking you one step further into feeling comfortable and at ease in your body. Part of the wounding that Venus is here to shine a light upon through this retrograde motion is that aspect of the lack of self love and the feeling that we are not worthy of receiving love, to the point that it makes us give and overgive because we don't believe for ourselves that we are worthy of receiving love, receiving help, receiving support, receiving hugs, receiving a sensual expression of love. And so we are guided to give and give and give because that's the only way in which we feel that we can then allow ourselves to receive a tiny bit. I've given all this much, and so now I can receive this little bit because our scales are completely skewed. We don't understand or haven't understood until now, and Venus is here to show us this, that the breath of love, the breath of self love, is truly just like the breath of air that we breathe and exhale. It has to be balanced. There has to be a balance between giving and receiving. What would happen if you would inhale and hold it, don't exhale, hold it, hold it, hold it, don't exhale, hold it, hold right? We have to exhale so that then we can take another inhale and renew. We have to inhale, exhale. And this balance is just how the breath of love works. I receive and I give. And I do that with myself too. I give to myself, and because I fill my cup, I'm ready to give. And this is the sacred act of receiving and giving from the deepest truth of who you are and the deepest compassionate love that a human can have, connecting to the divine compassion of love. And Venus is here to highlight where we're being shy of doing this and inviting us to try to challenge ourselves to go beyond where we feel comfortable and to allow ourselves to receive. Because think of this, something you may not have thought about. When you give, how do you feel? Take a moment and tune into that. I know for me, when I give, I feel elated, uplifted. I'm giddy. I love giving a gift. I love giving something, an act of love, or a small gift, or a phone call to a friend in need, or whatever it is. I love doing it and I feel so uplifted and filled with life force after that. But if you don't receive, that means you're not letting anybody feel the gift of giving. I bet you haven't thought about it from this viewpoint. And last but not least, another thing I want to bring your attention to is this fact that through this Venus retrograde energy, we can truly integrate our growth in daily life in the embodied aspect of ourselves, anchoring the higher frequencies of love into our body. Through all the things we've spoken about today, the embodiment of love, through the tuning into the beautiful expression of who we are, the yumminess that we can feel in our bodies through using our senses. This is what Venus is about, right? About being sensual in our exchange with life, in our dance with life, and of course in our dance with others in our lives too. And if we're lucky to have a lover who may be our husband, our partner, a friend, but somebody that we can experience also the beauty of the sexual nature of sensualness, that too, to engage with life aware of our body's connection to the inside and the outside world. How we are inside, we bring outside. And that beautiful connection of the outside, we bring inside. Receiving the light of the sun, receiving the beautiful colors and flavors of the food we eat, being conscious and aware of our choices and how do we feel when we eat that food, and receiving the beautiful expression of a beautiful sweater, a cashmere texture, a silk texture, or a cotton texture, or simply the air and the sun on our skins because it's the summer and we like going with lighter clothing on, the water lapping onto our skin, all of the expressions of a nourished physicality from a higher frequency of love and awareness, that we need this vehicle to experience life on earth as a soul. Our souls have it all when they are not embodied. Our souls decide to come into our bodies, onto earth, through this beautiful body that we choose to experience what earth has to give from a sensorial standpoint. And therefore, honoring the ability to be inside our bodies and rejoice with every single aspect that our body can share with us, that is the ultimate journey for our soul and for our humanness. And Venus retrograde is here to support us in being able to go deeper with all this beauty and to really look at where are we not allowing ourselves to live the full expression and beauty that our bodies are capable of. And here's the thing, if you find out, taking time for self-awareness and self-nourishment during these almost 2 months of Venus retrograde, that you are falling short of where you desire to be. If you realize that there's a lot of self-sabotaging happening, that there's a lot of self-righteousness and self-judgment, and that it is hard for you to move beyond that, well, then look deep and choose. How do you want to feel in your body? What type of relationship with life do you want to have through your body? And once you're clear on that, then look at what has come up for you. What are the things that are limiting you? What are the truths that are not allowing you to fully live the expression of who you are? And decide on one area that you're going to target and take that area and choose to make a difference, one step at a time. Remember that 1 degree of change can take a cruiser so far out in a long distance. So a small change can take you a long way. Don't get overwhelmed. And my invitation is the Venus invitation of use this time to have fun, to explore, to be out there, to put yourself out there, to be courageous and challenge yourself, to do something you've never done before, to go that extra expression of who you are with somebody you've been wanting to and maybe you felt shy to do. Whatever that is, have fun. Venus retrograde is actually a super interesting time for us to be human in a body and to feel our humanness, even as a deep spiritual being that we are. Enjoy and have fun and really go for it. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to hear about what is that you are going to go through. for support and moving on with challenges that may show up for you, check my website, www.theawakenedpath.com. I'll also add the link in the description to this video for ways in which I can support you, and downloading also the free gifts that can support you immediately. Lots of love, lots of light. Please remember to subscribe to this channel so you get all the news when I issue a new video. Enjoy this Venus retrograde.